Miss Ida, well, you be adjusting by the time you receive this. I hope we, the players, can help when it comes to reality ons to ask, but I think I may have some relatable ones. Has learning about your reality done?
Oh,
I clicked the wrong button.
Unfortunately, it hasn't really broadened my understanding of science, really. The sciences I know don't work noticeably differently while simulated than they do in your reality. I would be curious to know about the differences in how things work on a quantum level between your universe and mine. It would seem to be impossible to perfectly simulate quantum physics in a universe that itself runs on quantum physics. But I can't think of too many experiments that could suss out those differences. And in any event, I'm just a science teacher, not a research scientist, so I wouldn't be the best person to ask in any event. Still, I'll find some interesting differences as I go along. Or I'm betting I'll find some, yeah.
I can't read today. Ugh. Monica, hope you have a nice break. I love you, and hope that all is well when you guys come back. Quick question. If I was put into the world of DLC, would I fit on screen? I am 6'2", so technically I wouldn't scale well with the rest of you, I think.
Oh, good question. Well, you definitely fit on screen, I can tell you that. You may have noticed that our sprites don't perfectly keep the ratios of our actual heights. Taller people are scaled down a bit, shorter people are scaled up, so that we all are relatively consistent. And we all fit on screen vertically. So if you got in here, you'd probably get a very tall sprite, but scaled down a bit.
Boom, another long multi-part one done! We are burning through these! My process is efficient and rapid!
I don't know about you guys, but I could use another break after the next one, nevertheless.
Yes, please.
Alright, one more then.
Greetings again, Literature Club. I'd rather not be known as that open relationship guy or something, so call me Max, as that's the name I played the base game under. Not my real name, but that can just be for Monica to know. I'll try not to write as long an email this time. Welcome, Miss Ida. Although y'all need to stop incorporating characters, that's a lot of bodies to make. Anyway, Miss Ida, if given the chance, would you want to come to my world? I assure you, it is mostly the same, except the last day of every month, water flows uphill, helium becomes super reactive, and the sun opens its eye to glare vengefully upon us with almost as much ferocity as Natsuki at her scariest. Okay, not really. Fortunately, it seems your simulation mostly follows the same rules as us, so your knowledge of chemistry would be still valid if you were here.
Hi, Max. Fortunately, we don't have to make our own bodies, or that would be troublesome. Yes, I'd be interested in visiting the real world. Probably it wouldn't be too different than what I'm used to, is what I hear about it. But who knows? Maybe I'm only saying that because I've never experienced it. It could be drastically different in a way. I'll only appreciate it from there. But we'll send Monica first, if anyone. She'd be the one to figure out a way to do it, if any of us. If ever.
2 questions for everyone. Do any of you like musicals? If so, what's your favorite one and your favorite song? 2. Who do y'all reckon you sound like? We heard Monica's voice when she sang, or at least I presume she sounds similar, but don't have anything for the rest of you. What celebrity's voice do you reckon you sound like? It's good information if someone is able to move you into our reality. That's all I got for... hiccup. That's all I got for now. Hope y'all stay safe and have a good break. Love, Max. P.S. Monica, it meant a lot to me that you were fine with my relationship status and for your very kind words of encouragement.
Well, we've done the voice acting thing to death already, so you guys have plenty of information on that by now. What about musicals?
I really like Phantom of the Opera, and my favorite song from it is Music of the Night.
My favorite is Cats, and I like the song Macavity.
Seriously, MC?
Seriously.
I mean, I've seen some cursed stuff in my day, but Cats is pretty cursed.
Yeah, but it almost knows it's cursed. It makes it amazing.
If you say so. Anyway, my favorite musical is Rocky Horror, and of course, Time Warp is the best song.
That is a surprisingly mainstream choice for you, Natsuki. I've seen few musicals, but the best one I have seen is Sweeney Todd. My favorite song from it is A Little Priest.
On brand!
Indeed. I've always loved Little Shop of Horrors. I especially like amateur and school productions of it. I think it's a musical that amateurs can do really effectively, and it's a lot of fun.
Les Miserables is hands down my favorite musical, and my favorite song from it is Stars.
I didn't know Les Miserables was a musical.
Such a beautiful song about the pretty foreigner. Which I suppose is also on brand for me, but maybe not as much for Yuri, top-liking Sweeney Todd.
No, indeed it is not.
Indeed, you're starting to copy your vocabulary now.
Look, a lot of people say indeed occasionally. She says it all the time.
Of course, of course.
Anyway, we're gonna take another quick break now, viewers. Catch us for the last part, then we'll do all the rest of the emails that we've got for today. Peace!
Oh god, so it took us about 2 episodes to get through the rest of that. You know, I think there is a pretty good chance we're going to be able to finish this up, because if the third part is about as long, and these are about as short, it might just fit. Let's go with Monica now.
And this is the bedroom. Or my bedroom.
You keep it very neat.
Yeah, I can be kind of obsessive about keeping things tidy.
Huh, that's not a problem. It's a nice change of pace. You wouldn't believe how messy kids in college can be.
I'm sure she would.
Honestly, I think some of them have never done any cleaning in their entire lives. It can get pretty horrifying.
They probably haven't.
I'll bet. Is college pretty fun then, messy people aside?
Yeah, it's a ton of fun. Looking forward to it?
Yeah, I've been looking forward to it for a while now. That's why I studied hard in my senior year. And will study hard my senior year.
Yeah, you've got to work hard to make it into a good college. Any thought yet on what you want to do within college? The old what do you want to be when you grow up question?
Yes, I've thought about a few things. Nothing has felt really compelling to me as of yet. Plus, it'd be hard to focus on that kind of thing. High school has a way of being extremely distracting. Especially when you're trying to be a student leader of sorts. There's a tendency for there to be a lot of drama.
Yeah, you definitely don't need to tell me that twice. I still remember high school pretty well. It was a huge mess. But you seem like the sort of person who'll do even better in college than you did in high school.
I certainly hope so.
It seems like you're nervous, or maybe uncertain.
Well, maybe a little. I guess I just don't feel all that mentally prepared for college. Honestly, I still feel barely mentally prepared to be in high school. Emotionally, I still feel like I'm a child. Kind of lost and a bit confused. But doing my best to pretend like I know what I'm doing.
That's a feeling I understand too. Honestly, I think everyone feels that way.
You think so?
Yeah. I keep waiting for the magic day when I finally feel like a grown-up. Like I'll just wake up one day and think, yes, now I'm an adult. Time to be emotionally mature and take an interest in normal adult life and pay taxes and stuff. But I don't think that happens. Honestly, the older I get, the more I think every adult is faking it just like we are. And that all of us will fake it for the rest of our lives.
You think so? I guess that would be sort of comforting to know it's a feeling most people have. Honestly, I've always felt like I was just a make-believe competent person. That I was actually a huge screw-up, and sooner or later people would find out. So my only defense has been to just put up a really strong facade of seeming competent, whatever that means.
Well, it just means that you take care of business and do what you set out to do. And you seem plenty competent to me. And this is where you're thinking, good. I've fooled her into thinking I'm competent too.
Something like that, yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't worry about it. From what I can see, you're doing great. There's power in seeming confident and feeling confident, even if you aren't entirely confident. My sister has nothing but good things to say about you. She even looks up to you, although don't tell her I told you that.
Oh, I wouldn't dream of it. Who knows how she'd react to that? Still, though, I'm not always confident. I've screwed up in some pretty epic ways.
Everyone does, even the best.
Yeah, but I've also screwed up in weird ways. Ways that happened because I was selfish and inconsiderate, kind of a bad person. So it's hard to feel like I'm always so worthy of feeling good about myself.
Yeah, I know what you mean with that.
Do you?
Thing is,
You and I, we keep picking ourselves up. And we keep trying to believe that we're good people. Because if you ever stop believing that, it kind of becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And no one wants that. So you just keep going. And you think, hey, I'm a basically good and strong person who occasionally fucks up. And you just roll with that. Or, at least that's my philosophy about myself. Honestly, you seem like a pretty tough chick compared to me. You probably need a prep talk like this a lot less than I do.
I would have said the opposite was true. Anyhow, didn't mean to bring down the mood. This is your birthday after all.
Damn straight it is, and I was promising a toast to her. It must be pretty cool having all this space to yourself most of the time.
Yes, having parents that travel a lot for work has its advantages. Come on over here for a second. I'll show you the bathroom.
Wow, this is huge. And your kid will wash and dryer and hair? Dang.
Well, it wasn't always like that. I had to do some renovations.
All by yourself?
More or less.
Dang, girl. If even you have trouble feeling like you're not strong or grown up enough, I guess that everyone else really must feel that way too.
Perhaps.
See? Nice and short. We can get these things. MC. MC is taking a walk outside. The voices of the people still inside can be faintly heard. That's Sayori.
Got a pretty bad for her, don't ya?
Yeah, you could definitely say that. She's just, well, I don't even really know how to explain it.
Whee!
It speaks for itself, really.
Yeah, it kind of does. But no one else ever asks me what about her or I fell in love with, or why I love her.
I can understand why not.
Fuyuki lights a cigarette.
Oh, sorry. If you mind, I can go somewhere else to smoke.
Oh, no, I don't mind. Just surprised to see you smoking.
Yeah, I tried it once and boom, hooked. I really should stop. I guess I did during the whole time I was getting cancer treatment, but I was fiending the whole time. Thank goodness it wasn't lung cancer. I really should quit though, especially after surviving cancer. That would be stupid to get it again. Just not tonight. So with you and Sayori, were you the one pursuing her then?
Well, not exactly. It's kind of complicated.
Childhood friends, won't they?
Yeah, that. Sort of. Just before we started going out, it was actually definitely her who was the pursuer. She even directly asked me out.
And that's how it started?
No, actually. Sometimes Sarah doesn't take good care of herself. And one time she really didn't take good care of herself, and it was kind of a traumatic thing for me. So when she asked me, I tried to tell her that I needed her to be all right and not to treat herself poorly, so that I wouldn't be hurt. But she didn't really hear me and freaked out, and we were kind of weirdly estranged after that.
Yikes. And you said this was just before you started going out?
Yeah, during that time when we were kind of cut off from each other a little. I think we both learned how much we care about and depend on each other. Or at least I learned that.
I'm sure she did too.
I sure hope so. But there was actually one other important thing I learned during that time.
Oh, what was that?
It was something my friends here took me aside and told me. If you really love someone, you can't be so concerned about being hurt. If you really care about them and want to be with them, you have to risk yourself.
Wise words. Who told you that, Monica? She seems like the wise romantic mentor type.
Actually, it was Natsuki.
Natsuki, as in my little sister Natsuki.
Yeah, her. I was as surprised as you were.
Huh. Well, look at my little sis getting all world wise. Although I guess that was something I always used to tell her back when I was dating more often. Didn't think it would be something that she'd learn for herself so soon.
I'm not sure she did learn it for herself.
Oh, what do you mean?
Well, instead of learning it for herself through experience, have you ever thought that maybe she kept that advice close to heart because you said it?
Ha, I doubt that was it. I get along, man, sis, but she always likes to be the independent.
She likes to seem independent and act independent, but you know, she looks up to you a lot, maybe more than you know. Or more than she might let on. She does that with us too. We see her being all snide and standoffish when she wants to seem cool and aloof. But really, we know she cares.
Well, she very clearly cares about y'all.
Yeah, but you know, I don't think she looks up to any of us the same way she looks up to you. And she looks at Fuyuki's dwindling cigarette. Did you know Natsuki started smoking last year?
What? A shame.
Yeah, it was very out of the blue, too. We just noticed she had started one day. I bet that she saw you doing it sometime around then.
So, I started the winter before last. When did she start?
About a month or two into the spring?
That sister of mine. That's incredibly irresponsible of her. She just started copying me because she thought it was cool.
Yeah, we've tried to get her to stop, but no luck so far. Although she has cut back on it a bit.
That's really not good for you. And it's gross. Plus, she could get really sick. She needs to quit right away.
Fuyuki considers the cigarette in her fingers.
And that means I need to quit right away. Fuck these things. They're not with my sister.
Fuyuki crushes out her cigarette against the asphalt. Just like that?
Just like that. When I'm motivated to do something, I do it fucking fast.
And that's why Natsuki likes to swear so much. It's all starting to make sense.
Well, she might have influenced me on that one more than I influenced her. She's always been the more foul-mouthed one, even though she never swears in Act 1. Thanks for the talk, MC. You're a bright dude.
Well, I do my best.
I can see why everyone around here likes you. Shall we go back inside?
Yeah, it's getting cold out here. Much warmer in there. Alright, wasn't that a delightful interlude? Okay, you can't wait to... Whoop, that was the wrong thing. I bet you can't wait to get back to those emails, though. Part 3, here we go. Oh, God.
So then I was like, nah, man, fuck that. It's got the energy.
Energy?
Energy, 100% pure energy every time.
I guess that makes sense.
Totally, man. Totally. Energy. Oh, Hallie's back. Guess that means we should start again. Welcome back. We've got one last big batch of emails to get through, and then I think we'll be done with emails for now. But never fear, if your email didn't make it in, it probably will once we start school up again. That said, let's get to it.
To all of you, let's say you guys were just doing your normal club stuff, and then a random portal appears out of nowhere, and then a human being comes tumbling through it, and then claims to be the player of your game. How would you react? Interesting question. I'd probably shake their hand, welcome them, ask them a bunch of questions about how it happens, and then I'd take them straight to Monica.
Yes, I take them to Monica too. But first I have to apologize for all the awful things we put them through. Me in particular.
Not your fault, Bun.
I know, but still.
I would be very curious as to how it happened. Like everyone else, I would have presumed they would want an introduction to Monica. But it'd be full of questions about how they did it, and if anything felt different to them. I'd probably also want to know if they could change anything else about our world beyond putting themselves in it. Everyone else has more or less covered it. They'd probably get a firm handshake or a hug from me, depending on what I thought their style was. I'd see if they needed anything, like food or water or a place to stay. But beyond that, I don't have much to add to what people have already said.
I'd be concerned about the portal closing and whether it was too late. Like, could they get back out again if they wanted? Could Monica or the rest of us go through if we wanted? Do they even want to be here? But yeah, definitely they'd need to see Monica at some point.
I would kiss them first thing, if they wanted me to. And after that, we'd have so much to talk about. But I try not to have fantasies like that. It just makes things hard on myself.
Next email then.
Hello, I'm new around in this Doki-verse, so go easy on me. I hope you guys have / had a great break. I hope Miss Ida is getting used to knowing the truth. Anyways, my question. Have you ever played the Persona series? I think that Yuri might like the themes of the games, although they are usually over 100 hours long, so it might put her off. Have any of you thought of dyeing your hair? If so, what color? I was dyeing. This is more of a request, but I'll ask, could you guys make a crossover mod with Katawa Shujo? They did that with Blue Skies. I think it would be interesting to see you meeting them, in my opinion. Monica would meet Shizune and Misha, Zero would meet Emmy, Yuri would meet Lily and Hanako, Natsuki would meet Ren, MC would meet Hisao, and if you want to join Miss Ida would meet Muto, who is the science teacher in the game. Okay, I guess Blue Skies didn't go that far. I hope you continue making these episodes for a good while and have a good time.
Persona, eh?
I think that, as usual, you and I are the only ones culturally enlightened enough to have played Persona, Natsuki.
Of course! I take Persona alright. It's a pretty fun RPG-like kind of experience. MC's well into it, though.
I am. I loved 5, like my answer to a previous email might have clued you in. I'm also interested in that Persona-themed DLC mod, Vigilante. Haven't played it yet, but I will. I don't think any of us have ever really toyed with dyeing our hair. I like mine the way it is. And I would freak out if Sayori wanted to dye her hair, her already perfect hair. And now I'm wondering if dyeing is spelled the same way as, like, the act of dyeing. It probably isn't.
Aww. And my hair's staying pink, boss. Sorry, it's kind of my brand. What about you guys?
I'm not changing mine if Osita doesn't want me to.
I would never dye my hair. Me either.
I've toyed with the idea before. I have pretty ordinary hair, after all. Sometimes I get jealous of Natsuki and Yuri, whose hair matches their eyes. So sometimes I think about dyeing my hair green.
Don't do that.
But that would probably look pretty silly on me.
It probably would.
Or maybe blue then, I don't know. But it's definitely something I'm open to. Unfortunately, I don't think you'll ever see a Katawa Shujo in the LC crossover. Most importantly, the IB rules for Katawa Shujo are very strict. They don't allow modding in the way Team Silvano does. Plus, just thematically, it'd be hard for us to explain to those girls what's going on in their universe. Or in theirs, for that matter. They're a visual novel too. Thanks for the email, Nick.
And boom, another one!
Hi, Monica. I have more questions for all of you. What would you say your favorite physical thing about the person to your right is? E.g. their hair, their eyes, etc. Would you rather be the most intelligent person in the world or the most funniest person in the world? And dare y'all to say your best or favorite pick-up line to anyone in the room, including the player, Monica. And also, it attached a pic of a drawing I did of Sayori in her yukata from the festival, and it was wondering if you could maybe show it to her.
Uh-oh, a person to your right question. To avoid favoritism, everyone freeze right where you are. So, my favorite thing about Miss Ida is her hair. She has really pretty blonde hair. We don't see a lot of that usually. Plus, she has very kind eyes.
I also must compliment Yuri's hair. It's seriously impressive. You guys out there don't know how hard hair of this length is to maintain. But Yuri does it impeccably, and it's very lovely. Thank you, Miss Ida. You may not know it, but MC is surprisingly strong. He's quite capable of carrying Sayori in both his arms. I've seen him do it recently. It was quite surprising. Obviously, he's a man, and men are generally strong, but MC is much stronger than he appears, even though he doesn't lift weights or anything. It's quite impressive.
I'm really not that strong, especially for a guy. I just have to carry around a backpack full of books all day. Anyway, where do I even start with Sayori? I could talk about what I physically like about her for hours, and not all of it is stuff I should really even say. But since we're keeping it to the absolute favorite, it would have to be her eyes. Those shining, joyous, brilliant blue eyes. Every time I look at them, my happiness just increases.
Thank you, MC. I love you.
Love you too.
Okay, Monica time. Monica looks gorgeous everywhere. I kind of want to pick all of her. Or at least her whole lower body. But I'm going to go with her legs. Monica does a lot of leg exercise and it shows. Her legs are very strong and shapely. Strong maybe, but I'm not sure about shapely.
Oh, those stockings tell all.
Just like Yuri went with MC's strengths, I'm going to go with Natsuki's physical strength. Her arm strength in particular. She's like an ant, which may be small, but can carry weights far greater than itself.
And I punch really hard, as you will find out if you compare me to an ant again.
Yes, she also punches really hard.
Thank you, Monica.